morning, guys, and welcome back to my channel where we're about that breaking cycles life. Now for today's encouragement, we're going to the book of Proverbs, and yes, I'm pretty sure you've guessed, maybe Shanique will be speaking about Proverbs 3 and verses 5 and 6. Yes, you guessed it right. It's going to be those famous verses that we all know, and in Jamaican terms it will be like Cynthia, yeah, there, yeah, knee, because your parents have been saying this to you. If you grew up in the church, you've heard this many times in church. And yes, it's going to be those two famous verses that we all know too well, and we're going to be reading from the New King James Version as usual, and it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." Now, we all read this verse and we're like, yes, let's reiterate it. Trust in the Lord, trust in the Lord, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not to your own understanding. It sounds so easy, right? We all know it's not. It's really not. Because just the first word of these two verses is really hard for 100% of us to exercise, and that word is trust. Especially if you've been going through trials or you've encountered people that have just caused your trust to be broken. Then someone who you can't see, imagine a God is saying trust you. Like, I don't know you. How can you require me to trust you? I don't know you. But yes, he is requiring you to trust him. And he says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. But let's go back. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. So the fact that it says with all your heart, it means, guys, that we have already established some sort of relationship with him. And that means we have already started to read his word. We've already had experiences with God, and our relationship with him is growing, and we are coming to the point where we can actually say, I trust this person with my life. So what does it mean? Trusting in God. The fear of the unknown. Let's start there. The fear of the unknown requires us to trust in God because we don't know our future. And it's really hard for someone who likes to be in control to not know what their future is going to be like, but to leave it to God, to know that even though you don't know the results of your future, you know that it will all work out for your good, right? Yes. So let me give an example. Now, it was summer of 2017 when I had applied to an MBA and it wasn't working out because no scholarship was coming through. The funds weren't working. I wasn't able to get a job at any corporation or school near that university, and I was wondering what am I going to do with my life? And I was on the bed one night and I was there thinking, praying and talking to God. Of course, mommy is always praying her silent prayer, not trying to put too much pressure on me, knowing the level of pressure that I'm going through already with myself. I was there on the bed thinking, God, what are you doing? What are you doing? Then, honestly, guys, I'm not even joking, I heard that still small voice said, China. So I was like, what? China? He's like, yes, China. Then I had remembered that in 2016, 2 of my church members had gone to China, and it was through one of my church aunts that they were able to go to China, and she had presented me with the opportunity in 2016, yes, but at the time I was afraid and I didn't go. So it ended up that I stayed in Jamaica and I worked at another school for that 1 year. I believe it was preparation, so it was still God's will for me to not go in 2016. So yes, back to 2017 summer. So while I was in the bed and I heard China, I immediately messaged my church aunt and I was like, Aunt, do you still have that contact for me to go to China? She's like, yes, message this person. So I was like, okay. So I messaged the girl that was in China for that year of 2016, 2017, because she had just returned to Jamaica. I messaged her and I asked her if the opportunity was still available, and she said, yes, let me give you the contact of an agent. So she gave me the contact of an agent. She told me how to basically apply to the agency, and I applied that very same night. And by the time I woke up, I had a message in my inbox to say, okay, let's set up an interview for, I think it was Monday. It was Sunday night because it was Monday in China. And I had messaged them, I think, Friday. No, not Friday. Or Thursday night. So it was basically that short period of time. So after doing that interview with the agency, I got the contract with the agency. I was like, wow, that's great, that's great, that's great. Then 1 week later, literally the next Monday or the next Sunday night, I had an interview with a school, and the school accepted me about 2 days later after my interview. I was like, wow, this is moving a bit too fast. It's kind of scary. But nevertheless, I still proceeded with all that needed to be done. And my mother was there supporting me, but the both of us were like, okay, let's do this. But China, it's kind of scary. It's a bit too far, right? So we were like, okay, well, if this is what needs to be done, it needs to be done. China. Okay, so after applying, so still scared, still applying, still scared. We were talking to God, praying about it while still making the applications, right? So after making the applications, everything was happening so fast. The application for the work visa, it was supposed to come. It basically took 2-3 weeks to come to me so that I was able to go and get the stamp in my passport. Now, during that 3 weeks of waiting, I was like, God, China, are you sure? Like, it's a bit on the far side of life. But he was saying yes. And mommy was, of course, scared herself. Knowing my mom, she is a warrior. So we were both wondering like, hey, China, is this really supposed to be happening? But yes, we're still praying. So I had asked God to give me some sort of sign, to give me some peace of mind in terms of progressing with this new venture, I guess. Then I prayed, God, give me a sign. So in the way that I had asked him to give me the sign, he didn't answer me that way. I remember it was one Sunday morning, my mom woke me up. She's like, I had a dream last night. And you know, in Jamaica, once your parents say, I had a dream, you're like, whoa, what's happening now? Is it good or is it bad? But it was a good dream. It seemed bad based on the description that I'm going to tell you, but it actually gave me peace by the time she expressed it to me. So she said, I believe you should go to China. So I said, are you sure, mommy? Like, it's far, you know? Are you sure? She's like, yes. God is with you. He'll never leave you and he'll never forsake you. So I was like, okay, so what's the dream? So she said that she said that both of us were on water, like walking on water. And we were walking hand in hand, walking. And then she started to walk ahead of me. And when she realized that I was no longer beside her and I was behind her, she turned around and she realized that there was this man clothed in white, beautiful white, pearly white clothing, and he was holding my hand. And I just got a suitcase at the same time, and he was holding my hand. Oh my gosh, it's giving me goosebumps again. He was holding my hand and carrying me across the waters. And she looked and she smiled. She looked in front of us and she saw lightning, thunder. She saw pure darkness. But she looked back and saw the man, and he was taking me into the lightning, the thunder, the darkness. But everything seemed to be okay because he was taking me, he was carrying me. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, wow, okay, that's a bit comforting to know that even though I may face trials, God is with me. He's holding my hand and he's the one guiding me. He's the one directing my steps. So guys, this is what I'm trying to get to you from this story, that if it had not been for me learning to trust God and to believe his words, to even listen to that still small voice first of all, to even proceed with applying to get the job in China, and it worked out, then I would not have been able to be where I am right now in China, doing what God willed for my life. And I'm so thankful to him that he basically built his friendship with me first, because it had been a year or so before that I had reconsecrated my life with God. My relationship with him started to grow stronger, and just blossom. And if it had not been for that reconsecration, I don't think I would have trusted that still small voice to say go and apply to China, and then to believe that dream from mommy to say yes, everything will be okay, even though it seems as if everything won't be okay. This is my admonition to you today. The unknown seems scary, but God is asking you to trust him, to lean on him, and not lean to our own understanding, but pray. Just as how I was praying, I was scared praying, my mom was praying. In all your ways, acknowledge him, ask him to direct you, ask him what's his thought on this situation. In all your ways, if you acknowledge him, he will definitely direct your paths. And I'm so thankful that God allowed me to make this bold step of coming to China. I have not regretted it, regardless of all the trials that I've been through. I have not regretted it. It has grown me to who I am right now, and I love the human being that I am right now. So I'm thankful to him for all the trials, for all the lessons that I've learned while being in China, and for all the blessings that he has provided for me while in China. And I'm happy and grateful and excited to go further with him here in China until it's time for me to leave. So that's our encouragement for today. Trust in God. The fear of the unknown is scary, yes, but if we trust in him with all our hearts and lean not to our own understanding, in all your ways, guys, acknowledge him, and he will surely direct your paths. So that's our encouragement for today. Trust in God. Bye. Have a great day.